So it's been a while since I've done a what's in the bag, and I've actually got some changes in here. And if you watch till the end, you'll notice I've got a very interesting decision to make about something in my bag. But I'm going to run through from driver to putter, talk about why I'm playing what I'm playing, why I've made the changes I have. I know a few of you guys have asked about what clubs I'm playing, but also it might just help you make some better decisions for clubs that should be in your bag, or potentially some that could come out. So starting with the driver, I've still got the Titleist TSI 3 in the bag that was fitted for last summer. Now, I'll be honest, there's been other drivers that in testing, I've been really tempted to take this out of the bag, but then when I've kind of been out on the course and put them head to head, this always comes out on top. So I've got the 8-degree head, A1 setting, the weight in the back, I've got it nice and neutral, straight behind the center of the club face. Shaft, I've got the Tour AD XC6 in extra stiff. Now, I love the shape of the head, kind of very traditional looking, just got the little bit of branding on top, but really like the look, love the performance, and it's probably the first driver that I've actually felt really comfortable to just be able to stand up and just hit that little slidey one. So I've aimed a bit too straight there, but I feel I can hit that little cut, get the ball out there reasonable distance, but feel I can be in play with driver. And I get some really good ball speed off the face. A little bit of forgiveness with TSI 3. Definitely lower spinning, which I don't want to be too low spin nowadays, but I just love the look, love the feel. And like I said, I feel I can hit that little cut, but I also feel with this that when I really have a go at one, that I still kind of know where the ball's going. I've aimed left there, it's not shaped back, but again, it's going to be decent distance down the left side of the hole. And like I said, I just can't see at the moment anything replacing this in my bag. Now, moving into the Fairway Woods, this is where I've kind of chopped and changed a little bit. So I've currently got the Ping G425 Max 3 wood. It's 14.5-degree head, but I've actually got it down a degree to 13.5. And I love this, the fact that very, very shallow club face, so it makes it really easy to hit off the floor. I probably don't use it much off the tee if I'm being honest, only because I tend to either hit driver or kind of drop down to an iron. But I really like how easy that looks to hit off the floor. And then performance-wise, just a tiny bit thin. But again, I feel like I could just hit that soft little fade. And that one's probably not quite the distance I would normally get. And I'll be honest though, 3 wood's kind of in the bag. I don't use it a lot, but I like to just have it in the bag for those longer par 5s if I'm having to go in 2. But this is definitely the one that at the moment, it's been between this and the TSI 3. I just feel at the moment, this one with the shallower face feels a little bit easier to hit off the floor. And it maybe just a little bit more forgiveness. So on those little mishits like that one, still get a decent distance and in play. Right, so 7 wood, staying in the bag, and I can see this staying in for a long time. Again, the Ping G425 Max. I've got this in flat setting, so still at 20.5 degrees, and I put the 3 wood in the flat setting as well. I don't really want to feel the toes up, because that gets me hitting that shot to the left. But this was a really interesting club for me when I first tested it, because I've always felt kind of that maybe 210 yards through the air, can't really with a long iron hit the ball high enough to get it to stop, but really felt that this is a great addition to the bag. And we can see super high, again, very, very accurate. And again, a couple of yards back on where I would normally be. Probably not quite swinging it my quickest today, if I'm being honest. Had a game of golf the other day, been to the gym a couple of times, body's not moving quite as well as it could be. But certainly for me, the versatility of the 7 wood, that's an absolute no-brainer for my bag. And I do think a lot of golfers that don't have 7 wood, usually because they haven't tested it, should get along, try one, and they'll be absolutely amazed how good the performance is out of a club like that. Right, moving into my irons, this is where the TaylorMade irons are out of the bag. So I've now got a split set between the Srixon ZX5s and the ZX7s. So I've got 5, 6, 7 in the ZX5 and slightly chunkier, bigger head, bit more forgiving, slightly stronger lofts than my TaylorMades were as well. So I hit the ball a little bit further, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I've then found because of the length I hit the 7 wood, I think the 4 iron in this set would get too close. So then I've gone, like I said, 5, 6, 7 in these, and I love with the 5 iron just how easy that is to hit. And again, high, so I get a really good descent angle into the green. And we can see that one just back of 7 wood. Like I said, I'd expect 7 wood to be fractionally longer, but then it gaps in really nicely with 5 into underneath the 7 wood. And like I said, 5, 6, 7 in the ZX5s really give me that level of forgiveness that I feel I don't have to be at my best to hit. Then 8-9 pitching wedge or ZX7, so slightly smaller head. Definitely, as I look down on the club, looks a little bit more kind of fitting my eye. Only little potential problem with this is I'm definitely round about kind of 170, 172 with 7 iron. So as I move into the 8 iron here, you can see good fly, just turning over a little bit, but potentially just got a little or too big a gap from 7 iron to 8 iron. Now I am contemplating maybe just bending the lofts a little bit, maybe make the 7 iron a little bit weaker, maybe make this one a touch stronger, but really like the look of 8-9 pitch, and particularly with the smaller head, I feel that when I'm playing the little shots around the green, you know, I prefer the look and feel of those clubs. Right, so moving into my wedges, so I've got Voki SM8s in 52, 56 and 60 degrees. Now in the 52, I've got 8 degrees bounce. So I'm not a golfer who gets his low point way ahead of the golf ball and takes big divots. So I don't generally need loads and loads of bounce, but this is where I think a lot of guys with wedges should get fitted better for the wedges because they'd get away with a little bit more. So the 52 for me, again with the change of irons, pitching wedge going a little bit further, I've maybe got more like an 18-yard gap now from my pitching wedge to my 52. I don't mind that because I've got a shorter swing with my pitching wedge that'll work. But then when I move into the 56 and 60, so I've got both 8 degrees M grind. Now, the nice thing with these, 56 and 60 for me, is with the M grind, there's just a little bit taken off the back, which means that I can be a little bit more versatile with how I play the club. So I do play a lot of my shots, obviously with it square, even bunker shots, but if I do want to just open up a little bit, that extra grind off the back still keeps a little bit of bounce there, but still means that I can get the club sliding underneath the golf ball, and I can play the 56 or the 60 out of a number of different lies. So the M grind, just really, really versatile, and I like the fact for me that it allows me to be a little bit more creative with some of the short game than I can be with other wedges I've had in the past. But I would say in the past, the mistake I've made is because the sand tends to be quite firm, kind of down at Heron's Reach or a lot of the places on the Foul Coast, I've tended to go with less bounce. But when I got fitted for these at Titleist, definitely found just that little bit more bounce with me kind of helped me get away with my little miss hit. My little chunky one isn't quite as bad. Still not perfect, but definitely having the grind and bounce correctly fitted definitely means that I don't have to be at my best to hit good shots with the wedges. Now, putter, it's a bit of an old one to be fair. So it's a Scotty Cameron Newport Beach. So it's got a little slot in the sole, which just changes the kind of feel and sound. So I always like something that's a little bit toe hang. For me, I've got a bit of an arc to my stroke. So something like this really suits my stroke and helps me set the ball off on line. I've always quite enjoyed a firmer feeling putter as well. So no insert in the face, and that then ties in nicely that I get that crisp response. I don't know whether you'll be able to pick it up on here, but I absolutely love the sound and the feel because of that little slot in the bottom. And even though I am contemplating changing putter, I'm going to do a video in the next couple of weeks about more of an experiment that I want to try, but I always end up going back to that. Love the look, love the feel. Do I hole enough putts? No, but nobody does. But it's quite a traditional putter, not loads of tech in there, but I feel it's really, really easy for me to judge my speed and set the ball off on line. Then as long as I've read the putt, the ball should go in. Right, so the last piece of equipment is the golf ball. So Titleist Pro V1 X. Now the reason I play that is I see very similar numbers with my irons, my driver, but certainly when I get into partial wedge shots, so kind of maybe 30 yards up to about 100, I get a lot more backspin with that ball. And I'm not somebody who generally generates tons of backspin. And it's not that I want the ball coming back to me, but I like, on a pitch shot, to be able to get the ball to finish as close as possible to where it landed. So then my carry distance is really important. But I haven't found a ball yet. I have been sent some interesting stuff to test. I haven't found a ball yet that performs as well as that with the wedge. It does feel a little bit firmer, which again, I don't mind because that ties in with what I like for my putter. So I think the combination of the Pro V1 X with the wedges I've got and the putter I've got really should help me potentially produce some better scores than I do at the moment. But that's the only bit of kit you use on every shot. And again, I think golf ball is a really important thing to be fitted for. So that is my what's in the bag. Now, if you've been watching though, you'll have noticed there's something missing, isn't there? I've only got 13 clubs in the bag. And at the moment, I actually can't really work out what I need. So it might be that I know you're allowed to carry 14, but I might, for the first time ever, actually continue with just 13 clubs in the bag. I feel everything gaps in nicely. I feel the equipment I've got is forgiving enough that if I'm not at my best, I can still get decent shots. Nothing's forgiving enough that a bad shot doesn't get me a bad result. But everything in my bag at the moment, I think serves purpose. And until maybe something gets highlighted where I'm missing something, I can see me sticking with 13 clubs in the bag. But comment below and let me know how many you carry. If you do carry 14, how many do you actually use on a regular basis? Now, the last thing I was going to say as well, because I know I had some comments when I mentioned this, is the actual golf bag that I've got. Beautiful carry bag from Adidas. Now, not available in Europe. So before anyone messages me that's in Europe, where can they get the bag? You can't at the moment. But I don't ever trolley. I always carry my bag. I like to go kind of from A to B as quick as possible. I don't like walking around. Potentially, could be detrimental that I'm carrying my bag. I see a lot of guys now using electric trolleys. It's never been something I've really been into, but maybe, particularly if anyone's watching, I could be tempted to try an electric trolley. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like it and share it. Comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. There's a video just there that hopefully you'll enjoy, help you with your game. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.